Well, hello everybody. Thanks for stopping by and checking out this video of aerial footage of the farm. With a little help from the internet and some YouTube videos, finally figured out how to get the footage off of the drone so we could download it to YouTube. These videos are from early June through mid-August. At this point, we're really just figuring out the best way to clear the land, what works and what doesn't work. When we first started clearing, we chose a spot to plant the first crop, mainly based on proximity to water and ability to get the land cleared as quickly as possible before we missed the planting window. So if you look almost to the center of the screen, the white area is the sweet corn, which is planted under the clear biodegradable mulch. And then we planted a variety of other crops in the same area just as a test to see what will grow. The drone is an amazing piece of equipment, and we do not use it nearly as much as we should, and we'll definitely plan on using it more in this upcoming season. Super easy to use and fun to fly as well. Okay, here we are looking west. If Mount McKinley was out, it would be off in the distance on the horizon. After we got the initial planting site cleared and planted, made a point of going around and punching trails through to all the property lines in kind of a crisscross pattern to try to get some idea of what the terrain is like. Since we're well aware that our time to clear is limited of just a handful of months in the summer, we want to make sure we made the best use of the time we had to work with. And in this location, actually took the dozer to collect the logs, as you see here through the brush, the large trees that are down. This section had a lot of birch trees that fell over after the fire. It's hard to describe how much of a mess that can be when it's all tangled up. Picking up this 40-foot insulated van was one of the best purchases we've made on the farm. You need somewhere to store tools and base out of, get in and out of the weather, and keep supplies in for the equipment. What we're looking at here is the southern edge of the field. This is where the ancient sand dunes stop and the river bottom starts. It's about a 30 to 40 foot drop off that edge, which allows these fields to be well drained and get plenty of southern exposure to warm up quick in the spring and be warm in the summer. When you look at the fields, the light patches is the mulched brush and trees, and the nice dark soil is what's beneath it. So when you see the color contrast, that is the wood chips getting mixed with the dark soil underneath. And it is wonderful soil, loamy and rich, and the sand is the consistency of beach sand or a little bit finer, which makes for great drainage. You'll notice in the footage that there are pockets of old growth trees, and since there are only a few of these on the farm, we've decided to leave them till after all the clearing is done, and we can get a good lay of the land, and can decide which ones to keep, and which groups of trees need to be removed. Okay, we're looking west at this point towards the Tokchakit Road and the entrance into the farm. And then this is looking east. Nenana is at the far right base of that hill off in the distance. Every day, more and more land is cleared, and the corn keeps getting bigger and bigger. Over the course of the summer and into early winter, we cleared on average about an acre a day, which is a pretty good pace considering one skid steer and an older dozer did a majority of the work. And by the time the snow hit in early winter, all the burn piles were gone, and there's virtually nowhere on the entire farm that's cleared that we can't run the tractor in the disc. Okay, by now it's midsummer. We've completed most of the clearing on the southern side of the farm, and now turned our attention to the north side of the farm, which is the highest point on the farm and has a good-sized pond close by, which will make an excellent source of water for irrigation. Anytime you can use surface water for irrigation, it's a big plus, as it's a bit warmer than water coming out of a well. And plants do respond much better to warm water than cold water. When you see the uneven edges around these clearings, more than likely we had gone around some logs and needed to come back and pick them up so we could mulch that area. In fact, as we zoom in here with the drone, you can see the logs laying down in the brush, Mind you, these are house logs, trees that are upwards of 90 foot long, and can be every bit of 24 inches or bigger on the base. Okay, now we'll take and come in from a different angle. This is coming over the two ponds, looking down on the farm. By this point, we're getting into mid to late August. And you really start to realize that we're approaching the end of the clearing on these two parcels. It's an extremely daunting task when you start to think how much has to be done. But just sticking with it and being persistent, and it's amazing what you can do. Okay, as we start to see the lines in the field, by this point the John Deere tractor and the disc had showed up, and we could start the process of working the fields. Just look at the dark color on that one field. There's still a lot of clearing to be done, for sure. And there's a lot of work to be done picking sticks and getting the fields worked up and ready for next year. And we have to keep in mind all the man hours that went into this project. When for a majority of the summer, it's almost 24-hour daylight, somebody would start mulching at 6 or 7 in the morning, and between 2 or 3 people, the mulching might go all the way until midnight or 1 or 2 in the morning. Fuel the equipment, grease the equipment, trade, fuel the equipment, grease the equipment, trade, over and over. This definitely was a team effort, everybody doing their part. From putting time in the seat and the equipment to making sure there was fuel or going to get parts. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse of the farm from the air, and hope everybody stays tuned for the next exciting video from Coffee Farm in Alaska Corn. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye-bye.